Hey guys, how's it going? Buster Photo here with another camera review and how-to. I'm back after a 1-year hiatus. We're back with the most mediocre videos on the internet. Today we have the beautiful Canon AE-1 Program, one of the best cameras for first-time film users, especially because it has a full auto function. It's really easy to use, and it's also pretty. Yeah, very attractive camera. So let's get into it. Let's go over the functionality, battery change, and how to change the film. So first off, let's go over the buttons. So, a little side note, there is no Olympic version of this camera. I know you'll see posts that say, oh, the Olympic version, Canon AE-1 Program. All it is the lens cap, because you take that away, it's just a Canon AE-1. You put it on, all of a sudden it's an Olympic version. Canon did make official Olympic version cameras. It'll even tell you, it would have a special badging next to a serial number on some of them, but this, not the Canon AE-1, but it did come with little lens caps and special packaging, like the lens that comes with this, comes with special Olympic packaging, official 35mm camera of the Olympics, but, you know, that's a little side trivia for you. Now let's get into it. This right here is really cool. This is your depth of field preview. You slide this little button or little lever up, that comes up, and then it lets you push it in, like so. And there's even a little, if you do it properly, when you push it in, there's even a little, oh boy, that's, oh, because it's on A, that's why. There we go. You push it in and a little tab comes up and it'll lock whatever aperture you're in, and that's your depth of field preview. And to deactivate that, I guess you would say, you push this back down and that'll push that little metal pin, and then it releases and then you're good to go. This button right here is your, I guess you could call it your light meter preview button. It's got a real official name, but pretty much what it does is you press it and the little LCD screen on the inside of the viewfinder will show you what settings the camera thinks you should use with the light it's reading. This button above it does essentially the same thing. If you half press it on the inside of the camera, it'll show you the recommended readings that the light meter is taking. But if you hold it down all the way, it'll lock those. It'll lock the exposure in. When that will be useful, I'll let you know in just a second. Moving up to here, this is just a little flash sync port. Right here you have your little loops to hang your neck strap. You have your film rewind knob. This button right here, you press that button and then you press this little lever and that'll change your film speed. See how your film speed moves? So whatever film speed you're using, I'm always almost on 400, so right there it's on 400, and that's how you change your film speed. This button has two functions. It's your battery check button. It gives you an audible indicator. It means the battery's good. But it also has a second function, and I'll mention that in just a second. Right here you got your hot shoe for your flash. Up here you got your shutter speed dial. It goes all the way from bulb to 1/1000th of a second. And program. Program is pretty much full auto. It'll make the decisions for your aperture and your shutter speed for you. It's pretty much turns this camera into a point and shoot. Essentially, all you got to do is then focus. But in order for that to work, you got to make sure you have a lens that has a little A. A is for auto. And you just depress this button right here, and that'll let you slide it in to place. And now, with the A on and the program, it's even green. So you know, your little reminder, green, green. Now the camera will make all the decisions for you. That's great if you're just starting out. It makes it really easy to take pictures, but sometimes you can use full auto and still make some decisions, and that's where this exposure lock button comes into play. So you point the camera where you want to expose for, then you lock that down, and then you can recompose your picture so that, you know, like if someone's really backlit, like if someone's standing there and this is all super bright sky, the camera might try to expose for the bright sky, and then this person, well, they're not going to come out as great. So in that situation, you would use the exposure lock button, point it at their face, lock the exposure, and then you can recompose however you want, and then fire the shutter, and full auto will still make the decision for you, but you can lock it. So that's pretty handy. Right here you got your film advance lever, so you can advance your film. I think it's already advanced. That'll advance your film. Right here you have your exposure window count. When you're just starting off, it's on S, and it'll progressively go up. I think this one goes all the way to 38. And right here, this right here, it's got, let me focus on that. It's got 3 options, A, L, and S. A is pretty much for advance. You can hit the lever, take a picture, you know, just like normal. L is to lock it, so you can still advance the film, but you can't take a picture. So, you know, maybe you advance the film and you don't want to take a picture, throw it in your bag, put it on L, nothing's gonna happen. S is for self-timer, and it does a little beeping sound, and I think it's about 5 seconds, and that's your self-timer. Now, say for example, you started your self-timer and you're like, wait a minute, shoot, we're not ready. There's 2 ways to stop the self-timer from taking a picture. So if we do it again, self-timer, one of the ways to stop that, slide that up to L, and it'll stop the self-timer. The second way to stop that is to use your battery check button, which I mentioned had a dual functionality. You press the battery check button, and it'll stop the self-timer from self-timing and wasting one of your pictures. And then once you're done with that, you put that back on A, and you're good to go. Moving towards the bottom, you got your battery door. Actually, that is not a battery door. That's to attach the motor drive. The battery is in the front, and I'll show you that in a second. Right here's your film release button. So when you're done taking pictures, you press that so you can rewind your film. I'll show you that in a second. Right here you have your tripod mount, and this is an electrical connection for the motor. That's optional, you can attach here. So to open the film door, we go back up to our little film rewind knob, pull up that little tab, pull that up, and then, I mean, you could pull this up or just put your fingers into there, and that little raise motion will release the door, and that releases the door. And this is how you load film, and this is really easy. I got my little test film right here. It's been officially ruined, so we use it for these purposes. Load your film right there, and then all you're gonna do is slide the film across, put it into one of these little slits right here, and then if it grabs correctly, I like to move it a little bit, just kind of put it in there, and then use your film advance lever to, let's make sure, that's perfect right there. That's all you really need. And then you close your film door, bring your rewind knob back down. Usually what I like to do is turn this so to take any slack out of the film cartridge. That's nice and taut, feels good. And then usually recommended to advance 2 film slides or 2 exposures. So 1, 2, and you're good to go. Normally it should end up on 1, but it's just before 1, but you're pretty good to go. And then you're ready to shoot. And then, yeah. So now I'll show you how to get to the battery. This little compartment right here has 2 purposes. It's a little action grip, and it also holds your battery. You just use a little coin, hit the little pin, releases the action grip. There's a little compartment right here. You push in with your thumb. There's a little tab right there. Push in. That opens it, and then you take out your battery. And this is a Duracell 28L. 28L battery. You can find them on Amazon. So then you put it back in. Pops in real quick. Close that, and then you would reattach your door. And that's pretty much, your action grip. And that's pretty much it. The Canon AE-1 Program. It's a beautiful camera. I paid $100 for this one. It came with 5 lenses. There's deals to be had. Please don't overpay for film cameras. This one is exceptionally beautiful. It's a really beautiful camera. Really easy to use. Really fun to use. And I think it's the best-selling SLR ever. But, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Please like, please subscribe. And, yeah, have a nice day. Thanks.